Welcome to Inspiring People, the show about inspiring people, those who are inspired and those who inspire others. We all know them. They're good examples, they're supportive, they embrace life, they live inspiring lives in their day-to-day actions, and in turn, inspire others to do the same. Hi, welcome to Inspiring People. My name is Mary Otto. I'm the host of the show. And with me today for part 2 of an interview is Cyndi Anderson. Welcome back, Cyndi.
Thank you.
Good to have you here.
Thank you very much.
We just have so much to talk about, and we needed a second show to make sure that we could get in all of the things that we wanted to. So let's kind of pick up, for those of you who weren't able to see the first show, I hope you will at some point. But at this point, we're going to pick up with some things that we weren't able to get to in the first one, and we'll start out about some of the things that you're most passionate about. And how do you bring those to the community, and what do you do for yourself that's fun? I know you have a lot of interests that...
Yeah, I think one of my passions is service and volunteer work, and that takes, I do that in many number of different ways, quietly, and and enjoy supporting a lot of different organizations and entities in the community. What I do for fun, I love to read. My family would disagree with this one when I would say I love to garden. I like to buy the plants, and I like to plant them, but I'm not real good on some of the other maintenance stuff, so it's really a team effort, and it does take a village to get our garden going. But yeah, I really truly enjoy service and being involved and active in various things within the community.
And so if you have downtime, what sort of things do you like to do? Let's say on an evening you don't have a meeting, you don't have a, you're just saying, oh my gosh, I've got an evening to myself now. What is it that what am I going to do tonight?
Oftentimes I really enjoy television. I enjoy a good comedy. I enjoy shows like Law and Order and CSI. It's that investigative part of my mind that I do enjoy that. I'm not embarrassed to say that I enjoy television. I don't usually, though, what I get to see are the reruns, because it's usually a little bit later at night before I'm able to do that. And again, I like to read. And just be with family and friends. That's really what motivates me.
Do you have a book going now?
I read John Grisham and Lisa Scottoline, and I'm reading Innocent Man right now, John Grisham.
Okay. I know I like to have like a nonfiction and a fiction. Do you go between the two, or do you just basically like fiction to take you away a little bit?
I like to be taken away in that respect. I do a lot of reading, but it's usually grant applications or something work related. So
they're always fun.
So when I get to read for fun, I like to read something more on the John Grisham side of things.
And I think many members of the community know that you're a member of the school board. And what was it about wanting to be on the school board? I mean, what made you decide that with everything else you have going on, that you wanted to be on the school board as well?
I think there's an opportunity to make a difference. I really am passionate about kids and education, and I see an opportunity to try to, it's difficult times, and from a budget perspective and all, not only, in education, but across the board. And I was also approached by a number of educators and others whose opinion I respect very highly, who encouraged me to run again. I was on the school board once a couple of years ago. I chose not to run again because I was just starting my own business at that time and needed to focus my energy there. But I missed it, and I enjoy the governing process. I enjoy the policy-making process, and I welcomed the opportunity and was grateful that the voters gave me a chance to serve again.
Okay. And let's talk again a little bit about your family, if that's okay. Sure. You had mentioned that you all work together, kind of cooperatively. Yeah. And what are some of the projects that other members of your family have going now that you'd like to share?
Sure. Well, my sister Melissa is my business partner. She's a QuickBooks Pro advisor. And what that means is she has a very high certification in the QuickBooks software, accounting software. She's also a full charge bookkeeper. She has a number of clients where she does 100% of their bookkeeping. She'll also teach, she'll troubleshoot, whatever within. If someone has an issue with their software, she's the person to call. My son Joshua he has a management information systems degree, and one of the fastest growing parts of our business is in the area of evaluation, and in that many times it requires database design and things that are unique to each individual project. He designs the databases, and I know what I need it to do, but I don't know how to make it do that. He knows how to make it work, and then inputs all the data. So it's a really good team process. And my mother, who's retired but works probably harder than she did before, helps in all aspects of the business as well.
And you had mentioned gardening before. Aren't you, I thought at one point that you were bird watchers too, is that right?
I do like bird. Well, funny story about that. We were blessed several years ago. My sister looked out the dining room window and said, "What is that? This little bird that was sitting on the ground," and we thought somebody's parakeet or something had gotten out. And so we took a picture of it. She took a picture of it, and we went to Becker Pet and Garden to see if they could identify it, and they told us it was a painted bunting, and a painted bunting should be no further north than Kansas. And the night before, there was a storm that went through Shoreham, and we're convinced that that little bird kind of flew in on the, literally got caught up in the eye of the storm and landed in our backyard, stayed there for 5 days. It happened a week before the bird festival, and word got out. We had people that came over to our house. In the morning when we get up, they'd already be out there looking, and it was on their life list for a lot of folks that they'd never seen a painted bunting before. Well, that got us all curious, so we had to buy the bird books, and then we have cardinals. We have a family of cardinals that are there every day, and it's joyous and so peaceful and relaxing to see them in their natural environment. And then we had to go get all of there are squirrel-proof feeders too. You can get them at Becker Pet and Garden, and I know, but I know they work because I've tried other ones and they don't necessarily work. But that's been a lot of fun. We get great enjoyment out of that.
Well, and talking about bird feeders, we're a little off the topic here, but maybe the viewers would like this too. I had read an article in one of the little newspapers that comes out here about putting chicken wire around the bottom so that the squirrels can't go up the pole. So if you were to drive by my yard now, you'd see my bird feeders on the poles with some chicken wire underneath, and I think it looks artistic as well.
Yeah, well,
so
it does make a statement. And when we lived in town, my sister would get so frustrated. She'd look out there where the squirrels would be swinging off the feeders and the birds would be eating on the ground. And my question always was, they seem to adjust just fine. Why are we the ones that have the issue with it?
That's it.
But it is fun to have the squirrel-proof feeders, and we do put food on the ground for the squirrels, but we prefer that they don't swing off the actual feeders. and this actually works.
Yeah, and sometimes you kind of become fixated on that,
Yeah,
So
that's
anyway,
true.
we've digressed here, but that's okay too. So, well, we have just a few minutes left, and I just want to talk a little bit, kind of close this up by having you say, just talk about what is like your philosophy of life, or what helps you make the decisions you do, just what, because you're so involved in so many things. Maybe philosophy of life isn't the right thing, but certainly, is there a mantra you have that?
Well, telling me that we have a few minutes in my philosophy on life, those are not consistent. No, I would say my philosophy is to, in all things I look at, I try to be a values-driven and a mission-driven person in my own life and in the work that I do, whether it's volunteer or with clients or whatever. I think that it's important that you're a person of integrity, that your word is your word and it's sound and people can trust that. And I value those things, and I try to model and do that on a daily basis. Some days it's not easy, but I do try to be led and guided by that. And I also am truly grateful for each and every day. I never take life for granted. I feel blessed every day I wake up, my eyes are open, my feet are working, and all parts are a check. I think today's a good day. And so I truly celebrate that, and I look at each day as a gift.
Well, I think that's a wonderful way to end the show, and I'm so glad you were able to take time out to come and be on the show.
Thank you so much.
And Cyndi Anderson, you truly are an inspiring person.
Thank you, Mary.
Mm-hmm.